Members, please take your seats. I note that the hour has come and that a quorum of this council is present. All visitors, please retire to the seats outside the rails. Please take all conversations outside of the council chambers. Before proceeding, I will ask all those present to please set your cell phones to silent and or vibrate. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. To give our invocation this morning, the chair recognizes the Reverend Joseph Keplion of the Oblates of St. Francis de Sales and President Emeritus of Father Judge High School. He is here today as guest of Councilmember Jim Harity. I will ask all members and guests to please rise. Father Judge High.
Thank you, Council President. Before we say a prayer, I'm going to ask for a moment of silence. Northeast Philadelphia lost an awesome person who was a city activist this week. He was a man who was a founder of the Mayfair CDC and did so much for Mayfair, Northeast Philadelphia. His name is Maurice Hardy, so I ask just for a moment of silence for Maurice and his family. May his soul and all the souls of the faithful departed through the mercy of God rest in peace. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Our Lord, we are in a house of hope, a house of possibilities, a house of dreams. Standing in front of me and behind me are men and women who will lead us in these possibilities, these hopes, and these dreams for the people of the city of Philadelphia. I ask you to bless them with wisdom to help those who have no voice, those who have no hope, those who are lost. I ask you to bless them with wisdom to do the right thing for the city of Philadelphia, to bring peace to our streets, that hope may lie in their brains and their hands and their decisions, to help those who are poor, especially now those without heat. Almighty God, I ask you to bless the people in this room with a vibrant spirit of not only wisdom and passion, but the spirit in why our city was built, a city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. And I ask this through all things, through Jesus Christ, who is our Lord and Savior. And together we say,
Amen.
Go, Father Judge.
The chair thanks the Reverend for his invocation. Council will be at ease. The next order of business is the approval of the journal of the meeting of Thursday, January the 29th of 2026. The chair recognizes Majority Deputy Whip, Councilmember Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the journal of the meeting of Thursday, January 29th, 2026 be approved.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the journal of the meeting of Thursday, January 29th, 2026 stand approved. All in favor will indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the journal is approved. The next order of business is request for leave of absence, and the chair recognizes Majority Leader, Councilmember Catherine Gilmore Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the majority, there are no requests for leave of absence today.
The chair thanks the Majority Leader. The chair recognizes Minority Leader Councilmember Kendra Brooks.
Good morning, Council President. On behalf of the minority, there are no requests for leaves of absence today.
The chair thanks the Minority Leader. The chair now recognizes Majority Leader Councilmember Catherine Gilmore Richardson for a motion concerning certain legislative matters that may arise during the course of today's session of council and that were not listed on the calendar circulated prior to today's council session.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that any of the following matters, if considered today, may be added to the agenda for this session of council and as required by law, subsequently published on an amended agenda after the consideration of those matters. Resolutions authorizing hearings, amendments to bills on first reading, the reconsideration of a bill vetoed by or recalled from the mayor, amendments to bills recalled from the mayor, resolutions taking substantive action to be voted on in this session, a motion to withdraw a bill or resolution that is not on the calendar, and a motion placing a bill or resolution on or returning a bill or resolution from the suspension calendar that is not listed on today's calendar. The purpose of this motion is to provide the public with notice concerning possible actions by council that arose too late to be included on the calendar that was published prior to today's session.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the legislative matters stated by Majority Leader Councilmember Catherine Gilmore Richardson may be added to the agenda for today should those matters arise during the course of this session of council. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. I want to take a moment of personal privilege to ask everyone to stand as we offer a moment of silence on behalf of Councilmember Jamie Gauthier and honor the life and memory of Timothy D. Sapp Sr., who was a member of the 3rd Councilmatic District, also a member of District Council 33, lost his life doing what he loved, which is making sure that during this recent winter blizzard that our streets were clean, our snow was removed, and unfortunately lost his life doing that service as relates to improving the quality of life of our city during this particular period. The chair will dispense with the regular order of business to recognize the guests and visitors joining us in chambers this morning. On behalf of all members of City Council, I welcome you to our council session. We appreciate your taking the time to join us as we attend to the legislative affairs of our great city. We certainly invite you to come again. I want to acknowledge Councilmember Dr. Anthony Phillips.
Good morning, colleagues. Thank you so much, Council President. Today, I have the honor to welcome to the halls of Philadelphia City Council the Executive Director of Black Girls Love Math, Atia Harmon, who has been proudly supported by 5th District Councilmember Jeffrey Young. This is a citywide organization that helps young people, particularly young women, understand the importance of math, and especially in an age where oftentimes young women are directly and indirectly told that certain careers aren't for them. Atia Harmon is changing that narrative through Black Girls Love Math by making sure that young women understand the importance of you can do anything you set your mind to. So welcome to Philadelphia City Council, Atia Harmon, and the young ladies from South Philadelphia, your district, from Black Girls Love Math. Please stand. And then lastly, I also am privileged to welcome 85 schools, 56 public high schools, and 12 colleges and universities. Here today, they are leaders of their Student Government Association. As we know, student government teaches young people the importance of collaborating, how to budget, how to advocate, and the importance of civic engagement. And they are not just extracurricular skills, these are life skills that they're learning, and they are here to be honored and recognized by the Philadelphia Youth Commission Director, Shania Bennett. And so we're excited that they are here today. Can all of the students who are representing their student government today please stand? Welcome to Philadelphia City Council.
Okay. So, Member Phillips, I want to take this moment to call out the adults in the room, because when celebrities come down here, we stand up and we do all this clapping. And these are the future of the city of Philadelphia, our future leaders. Could we give our young people a real big round of applause? Like, these are the young people that will represent all of us. These are the young people we need to encourage. I mean, I brought Beyonce down here, y'all be going crazy. Bobby Shmurda too. Thank you all, everyone. No, we have to encourage and support our young people anytime that we can get, y'all. At this time, the chair recognizes Majority Leader Councilmember Catherine Gilmore Richardson, who will present a resolution honoring the African American Children's Book Project on the occasion of its 34th Annual African American Children's Book Fair. Would Vanessa Loyce Combati and those accompanying her please join the council member at the podium? Joining Councilmember Catherine Gilmore Richardson are the following council members: Councilmember Dr. Anthony Phillips, Councilmember Jamie Gauthier, Councilmember and Majority Whip Isaiah Thomas, Councilmember Curtis Jones, Councilmember Jeffrey Young, Minority Leader Councilmember Kendra Brooks, Minority Whip Councilmember Nicholas O'Rourke, and Deputy Whip the Majority Party Councilmember Cindy Bass.
Well, in a tradition that started with Blondell Reynolds Brown, our Majority Leader, Catherine Gilmore Richardson, has continued that work, recognizing authors that are Black and brown, that do books that we do once a year and throughout the year to distribute to our young people. Ms. Combati, Mr. President, is from the 4th Councilmanic District. Yeah, there you go. And so what we want to do is continue to raise her up as she continues to raise authors that are writing things that are pertinent to our young minds. And we are very thankful for her continued contribution to literacy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, colleague and my district member, Councilmember Jones. And in the legacy of my forever boss and mentor, former Councilmember Blondell Reynolds Brown, we are proud to again present this resolution here in Philadelphia City Council. So whereas founded in 1992, the African American Children's Book Project was created to promote and preserve children's literature written by and about Black Americans. Their programs, including book fairs and signings, literary workshops, and I Read to See Me, highlight the importance of giving children access and choice to what they read to empower, enrich, and enlighten them, and their advocacy work promotes the rich history of Black Americans through literature. And
whereas the African American Children's Book Fair is regularly one of the oldest and largest single-day events for Black children's books in the country, with an average attendance of more than 3,500. It is the leading organization in the region, bringing national award-winning authors and illustrators for children pre-K to young adult in Philadelphia. And
whereas Vanessa Lloyd Scombati, the founder of the African American Children's Book Project, is a nationally known literary consultant. She believes all children should have choice and access to books that reflect their images. Vanessa's effort put Philadelphia on the literary map as an important destination for diverse children's books. And
whereas the 34th Annual African American Children's Book Fair will kick off a year-long program, 250 Years of Black Excellence, as seen through the lens of Black children's books. The program will showcase the rich history and contributions of Black people to the United States through children's books. Over 40 literary creators from around the country will kick off the program. And
whereas Alice Faye Duncan has written 15 picture books, including Memphis, Martin, and the Mountaintop, Yellow Dog Blues, and Coretta's Journey. Her book, Opal Lee and What It Means to Be Free, has sold 100,000 copies since January 2022. Alice specializes in writing for young readers about the American Civil Rights Movement. Her new book, The Dream Builder's Blueprint, is about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s visit to South Philadelphia's Barrett Junior High School in October 1967, when he gave Philadelphia students a blueprint to prosper. And
whereas corporate partner Penn Medicine is one of the leading sponsors in the region, championing literacy. Their work is led by Agina Amir and Laura Kim. Agina Amir serves as Director of Civic Engagement and Community Partnerships for Penn Medicine, advancing the organization's strategic priorities through collaboration with community-based organizations and civic leaders. Laura Kim serves as Associate Director of Community Relations, where she leads the Penn Medicine Cares Grant Program, providing funding to community organizations that advance health and well-being, and oversees volunteer initiatives that connect employees with service opportunities across Philadelphia. And
whereas the free 2026 African American Children's Book Fair will take place on Saturday, February 7th, 2026 at the Pennsylvania Convention Center from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Now, therefore, be it
resolved by the Council of the City of Philadelphia that we hereby honor the African American Children's Book Project on the occasion of its 34th Annual African American Children's Book Fair.
And further resolve that engrossed copies of this resolution be presented to the African American Children's Book Project, further evidencing the sincere respect of this legislative body. Congratulations.
Before
I will keep my remarks
acknowledging
brief.
you for remarks, we just want to thank you for hosting this event for over 34 years. And with the national climate in this country to whitewash African American and Black history, the work that you are doing means so much, and this acknowledgement is so fitting for such a time as this. The chair recognizes Vanessa Lloyd Scombati.
Thank you so very much. And a special thank, before I say anything, I got to give a shout out to the President, Kenyatta Johnson, who has supported my work here in the city. He has never wavered from understanding my mission to give kids the opportunity to see a world, a broader world than which they live in. But I also want to acknowledge Anthony Phillips, Cindy Bass, council member, Anthony Phillips, council member Cindy Bass, council member Jeffrey Young Jr., council member Catherine Gilmore Richardson, because she's been supporting me since I think she was an intern when she was giving me shout outs. Councilmember Kendra Brooks, Councilmember Curtis Jones Jr., best councilman in the city because I live in his district, and Councilmember Jamie Gautier. She got a name that's fierce. A name always helps you be famous in this world. But I'm going to keep my remarks brief. ABC, the National, contacted me and asked me to prepare a list of books for Black history. And the paragraph opens with, Black history is a great opportunity to learn Black history. So people thought I was going to do a lot of books about slavery. I went right to the core of what Black people are about. I pulled out a book about Paul Williams. He was the architect to the celebrities. He's a Black man, designed Frank Sinatra's home. Philip Freeland, who was dyslexic, who's from Philadelphia, Germantown, designed the African American Museum in Washington, D.C. Alma Thomas, she is a painter and the only Black person in the White House galleries. And then we can't forget Mae Reeves, who lived up here on 60th Street, had a hat shop, that she was going to Paris and London in the 40s to get the things that she needed to make her hats. And then Augustus Jackson, he was a free person in the 1800s. We did a presentation about him a few years ago here in City Council. This was a man who created the idea of having a freestanding store to sell ice cream. He's called the father of ice cream in the United States. And then, of course, last but not least, a story about Martin Luther King, who in 1967, not many people know that 6 months before he died, he made a speech to young people here in Philadelphia, and I met one of those people. He became the president of YMCA USA, Kevin Washington. So I'm doing this not because we got a couple of books. I'm doing this because literacy, reading, empowers you. It gives you knowledge. When somebody tells you you're not good enough, or you start talking, oh, you got a history of slavery, don't let them tell you that. Because we have a rich history. When we came out of slavery, we said, where are we going to educate our people? Where are we going to start our businesses? And they were threatened. So I'm going to pass the mic to Alice Faye Duncan, who came all the way from Tennessee. I know she's going to go back home and say, there was a lot of people up in there. But she is the woman who wrote the book and brought to life the story about Martin Luther King. And finally, if you're in Philadelphia on Saturday, and this is for the young people, come down and meet over 40 best-selling New York Times American Library Association, only the creme de la creme will be there at 1 to 4 p.m. at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. And give me a shout out when you come. And it's free. Alice, remarks, brief.
Let's give a Philadelphia welcome, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Alice Faye Duncan. Council members, you all have received, I think, 2 of my books, The Dream Builder's Blueprint and Blues Boy, the B.B. King story. I am from Memphis, Tennessee, so you got to get that B.B. King book. Repeat after me. I'm not going to be long. Repeat after me. Dream big. Dream big. Walk tall. Walk tall. Be strong. Be strong. March on. March on. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Never stop. Never stop. Never stop. Never stop. Climb up. Climb up. The mountaintop. Now, all of us, the children especially, I don't care nothing about your old people, but I'm talking to the children. Children, repeat after me. Possess the land. Possess the land. Possess the land. Possess the land. Thank you. Hope to see you Saturday.
And quickly, we need to acknowledge Penn Medicine. They are sponsors of the event, and I was begging on bending knees. I thought I had Boys to Men behind me singing that song to get sponsors this year. So I'm grateful to council members who supported, but also Gina and Laura Kim. Thank you.
Council will be at ease. Chair recognizes Member Jones.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Colleagues, join me in welcoming Lankenau School in the 4th District. They are here to watch us in government, but also to participate in understanding about our plans for a merger of schools. Welcome them to City Council. Lankenau, please stand.
And Member Jones, we officially welcome Lankenau back to City Council chambers on February the 17th for the Committee of the Whole to officially review the School District of Philadelphia recommendations for their facilities plan.
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
You're welcome, Member Jones. Most of you may or may not know that the City of Philadelphia is approaching a 60-year historical low when it comes to homicides and shootings here in the City of Philadelphia. And so you have individuals who are working on the ground day in and day out, which we call boots on the ground organizations, to address the issue of youth gun violence. And so at this time, the chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass, who will present a resolution honoring, on my behalf, Pushing Progress Philly, P3, and its outstanding leadership and staff for their unwavering commitment to youth gun violence prevention and strengthening families and building safer, healthier communities in the City of Philadelphia. Would Jamie Jalil Meekins and those accompanying him please join the council member at the podium? Joining Member Cindy Bass at the podium are the following individuals: Councilmember Rulandow, Councilmember Ketty Lazada, Councilmember Nicholas O'Rourke, Councilmember Kendra Brooks, Councilmember Jamie Gaultier, Councilmember Jim Harity, Councilmember Dr. Nina Ahmad, Councilmember Anthony Phillips. Mr. Schuler, could you please join us at the podium, please? This joint North Philly heavy too, but
Okay?
that's all love.
Do that.
All love.
Yes.
We also have us joining us, the head of public safety, our public safety advocate here in the City of Philadelphia, Mr. Adam Gear.
Thank you, Mr.
Floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can we give this organization a round of applause? Because they are out here on the ground, day in and day out, regardless of the weather, regardless of whatever conditions are going, whatever's happening in their own lives, to make sure that each and every one of us is safe. That's their mission. And so we just really want to say thank you to our council president for seeing the need and the responsibility, really, to recognize all of these folks you see before you here today. And so today we honor Pushing Progress Philly, but everyone knows them as P3, for meeting our young people where they are, especially in our recreation centers, which also serve as safe havens in neighborhoods most impacted by gun violence. Through P3's work, these spaces become more than places to play. They become places of healing, mentorship, and hope. Using a public health approach, P3 interrupts cycles of violence before they reach our children, addressing trauma, instability, and lack of opportunity while strengthening families and building safer communities. Under their leadership and supported by a dedicated team of credible messengers and frontline staff, P3 shows our youth that their lives matter and their futures are worth protecting. By showing up consistently, modeling accountability, and connecting families to real resources, P3 is helping ensure that our kids can grow, thrive, and feel safe in the very places meant for joy and community. And so with that being said, we want to read a resolution which is honoring and commending a resolution honoring Pushing Progress Philly, P3, and its outstanding leadership and staff
for their unwavering commitment to youth gun violence prevention, strengthening families, and building safer, healthier communities in the city of Philadelphia.
Whereas Pushing Progress Philly P3 is a city-funded gun violence initiative operating within the Division of Safe Neighborhoods, serving adults at the highest risk of gun violence involvement through messenger outreach, case management, trauma-informed care, workforce development, housing navigation, and structured personal development. And
whereas P3 employs public health strategies to interrupt cycles of violence and address root causes, including trauma, economic instability, justice systems involvement, and housing insecurity, while promoting long-term community reintegration. And
whereas P3 is led by Program Director Dr. Kareem Brown, a North Philadelphia native with a doctorate in education from Drexel University, whose background in education and community development informs a restorative, trauma-informed approach, and Assistant Director Faith Dickey, who has overseen program implementation and partnerships for more than 3 years, together guiding P3's work toward healing and long-term stability. And
whereas P3's outreach, operations, and program management team consists of Jamie Jalil Meekins, Carlton Washington, Kareem Fisher, Khalil Young, and John Wilson. They bring decades of experience, credible messenger leadership, and nationally informed models to engage participants with consistency, trust, and accountability. And
whereas P3's frontline staff and facilitators, including Roy Clark, Paul Edward Williams Jr., Clarence Major, Katisha Simmons, and Kevin Cole, bring the mission to fruition by mentoring participants, connecting families to vital resources, and securing housing and employment outcomes. And
whereas together, P3 staff have strengthened individual lives, families, and communities by interrupting violence, fostering opportunity, and advancing dignity across the city of Philadelphia. Now, therefore, be it
resolved by the Council of the City of Philadelphia, honors Pushing Progress Philly, P3, and its leadership and staff for their exceptional service and unwavering commitment to preventing gun violence and promoting community safety. And
further resolved that this body express its deep appreciation for the courage, dedication, and service demonstrated by P3's team as they advance initiatives, compassionate solutions to gun violence and its roots cause.
Congratulations. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of the work that you've been doing in our communities.
Before I bring up Jalil Meekins, I want to also acknowledge one of the founders of this program. He's always Team Johnson, even though he's over there with the administration, Mr. Joshua Harris. Thank you for joining us as well. The chair recognizes Jamie Jalil Meekins for remarks and Adam Gare, Public Safety Advocate, for remarks as well. Jalil, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. I would behoove to say anything knowing that I have the program director, Dr. Kareem Brown, who built this program from its inception when it was just a piece of paper. So I would like to pass the mic to Dr. Kareem Brown.
My man. I first want to thank Council President Kenyatta Johnson and City Council for honoring Pushing Progress Philly. I would also like to thank Chief Public Safety Director Adam Gare for bringing P3 under the city's oversight, with a special thank you to Councilwoman Cindy Bass. I want to begin by thanking everyone for the resolution and recognition of Pushing Progress Philly and for the continued commitment to safety and dignity of our city. There's a line from a Stevie Wonder song that always stayed with me that said, "I thought the cold would leave by summer." Growing up in North Philadelphia, that line meant something different because for many of us, summertime didn't bring warmth, it brought fear. As the weather got hotter, the streets got colder. Gun violence increased, sirens replaced ice cream trucks. Too many lives were interrupted before they had a chance to begin. For decades, that was a pattern, predictable, accepted, and normalized. But today, Philadelphia is in a different moment. We are now at historic lows in gun violence, and that did not happen by accident. It happened because the city chose to invest in evidence-based strategies, credible messengers, cognitive behavioral interventions, relentless outreach, transitional employment, and community-centered violence prevention. It happened because we stopped asking what's wrong with people and started asking what happened and what works. Pushing Progress Philly is proud to be a part of that ecosystem. Our work is rooted in data, accountability, and most importantly, relationships. We walk with people through some of their most difficult moments. Now, this coming summer will be a test of whether we can sustain this momentum, a test of will we stay vigilant as the temperatures rise, a test of whether we continue to match investment with intention. Because violence reduction is not seasonal work, it requires year-round commitment. Philadelphia is a city rich in history, culture, and resilience, and we are on the cusp of becoming one of the safest and greatest cities in the United States. But that future depends on whether we continue to invest in the very communities that for too long have been disinvested. If we do that, if we stay focused, coordinated, and bold, then this summer doesn't have to get colder, it can finally get warmer. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. Thank you, Council President. It's amazing when we have leadership, right? Our council, our mayor, our council president, the folks behind me on the ground, all rowing in the same canoe down that same river towards where we know we're going to be the safest major city in the country. We are on that march. We are on that march because of the leadership. We are on that march because of the innovation of programs like this, leaders like this, and the investment, again, that our city is making collectively in this kind of work. It is working. We see that it is working. We must keep that investment up, continue to partner as we do, stand together, and make this, again, every single neighborhood, safe to walk down, safe to live in, so that we can enjoy what we know is the greatest city in America. So thank you very much, Council President. Congratulations, Joe. Can I yield some time to you?
Thank you. Mr. President, before we adjourn to the front to take a picture, I just really wanted to acknowledge from my office Kenneth Thompson, who has worked so much with the gentlemen in this group and who has really been on the ground doing violence prevention work in my district. So I just want to make that acknowledgement. Thank you, Kenny.
Member Meekins.
I would also like to acknowledge Kenneth Thompson as well. He's been a magnificent force when it comes to making relationships between city government and those who are on the ground. So I want to acknowledge you as well. Also, obviously, I would like to thank the leadership of Dr. Kareem Brown. Obviously, I lost a son to gun violence, so this is personal to me. Obviously, I would like to thank the leadership of Council President. He's been a magnificent force when championing this work. Obviously, this type of work needs champions. Obviously, Councilwoman Cindy Bass, she's done so much for me. I can't forget Assistant Director Faith Dickey. She's a lot of times the women in this space, they don't get a lot of credit. And we got some powerful women in this work. We got people, I'm 49 years old and I'll end with this. I can't remember the last time that we created a comprehensive ecosystem with city government, grassroots organizations, law enforcement, community-based organizations that's making sure that the voice is being heard of the people. This is the first time that I've ever seen that everybody is on the same path at the same time creating what you see today. Thank you.
Council, be at ease. I see that several individuals came to support. Couple individuals who are here supporting some of the boots on the ground violence prevention organizations. I see Frontline Dads, Mr. Reuben Jones. Give him a round of applause. I see Mel Wells from ODAT. Give him a round of applause. Philadelphia Motivation. Give him a round of applause as well. We see you here. Reentry Advocate. Ms. Sadia Moneybags. Where's Sayat? Give her a round of applause as well. That's what supports look like, and it's a community of individuals who are out there day in and day out on the front line, trying to make sure our streets are safe for our young people and people in general. As I mentioned before, we had a 60-year historical low when it comes to gun violence, particularly homicides and shootings, and that comes from investing in boots on the ground organizations who are on the front line doing this work day in and day out. At this time, the chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass, who will present a resolution on my behalf honoring and commending Endangered Kind, its founder and executive director, John Solomon, and his leadership team, Nakeem Higgins, Jalil Martin, Gary Hill, and Eric Knight Lane, for their commitment to fighting youth gun violence and their profound grassroots leadership, uplifting vulnerable young men, families, and communities throughout the city of Philadelphia. With John Solomon and those accompanying him, please join the council member at the podium. Joining Member Bass at the podium are the following individuals: Councilmember Dr. Nina Ahmad, Councilmember Rue Landau, Councilmember Ketty Lazada, Councilmember Mike Driscoll, Councilmember Kendra Brooks, Councilmember Dr. Anthony Phillips, Councilmember Jim Harity, the Honorable Janie L. Blackwell, Councilmember Nicholas O'Rourke, the floor is yours, Member Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilmember Mel Wells in the house. How are you, Mel? I'm very excited to honor, on Council President's behalf, Endangered Kind and the extraordinary leadership of its founder, John Solomon, along with Nakeem Higgins, Jalil Martin, Gary Hill, and Eric Knight Lane, and the whole team who joined us today. Endangered Kind is not just an organization, it's a lifeline in our neighborhoods. They meet young people where they are, with honesty, compassion, and most importantly, hope. Through street-level outreach, mentorship, and violence interruption, they work directly with children and young men who are too often written off but never given up on. They're credible messengers who are people with lived experience, build trust, mediate conflicts, and help young people see a future beyond survival. They connect families to resources, promote healing, and strengthen entire blocks, not just individuals. By investing in dignity, opportunity, and community leadership, this group is helping our children grow up safer and our neighborhoods grow stronger. And for that work, we proudly honor and recognize them today with a resolution. And the resolution reads, a resolution honoring and commending Endangered Kind, its founder and executive director, John Solomon, and its leadership team, Nakeem Higgins, Jalil Martin, Gary Hill, and Eric Knight Lane, for their commitment to fighting youth gun violence and their profound grassroots leadership, uplifting vulnerable young men, families, and communities throughout the city of Philadelphia.
Whereas Endangered Kind is a community-aligned organization founded in 2016 by John Solomon, a lifelong Philadelphia resident whose lived experience with community violence profoundly shaped the organization's mission and vision. And
whereas at age 15, John Solomon survived a gunshot injury and later served nearly 5 years in prison for a gun-related offense, during which he embraced personal growth and faith, committing himself to service and community transformation. And
whereas after his release, John Solomon dedicated his life to uplifting others and building safer communities by addressing the root causes of violence, ultimately founding Endangered Kind, where he now serves as executive director. And
whereas the organization's leadership team, Nakeem Higgins, Jalil Martin, Gary Hill, and Eric Knight Lane, has been instrumental in guiding Endangered Kind's outreach programs and community initiatives, deepening its impact throughout Philadelphia neighborhoods. And
Whereas, through community outreach, Endangered Kind works directly with residents in neighborhoods experiencing the highest rates of violence by engaging in street-level outreach, canvassing, peer support, and connecting individuals and families to critical resources and support networks that promote stability, healing, and trust. And
Jamie.
Whereas, through its violence intervention efforts, Endangered Kind deploys trained, credible messengers with lived experience to identify individuals at highest risk of harm. They assist in mediating conflicts, interrupting cycles of retaliation, and providing ongoing mentorship and support aimed at preventing shootings and saving lives. And
And whereas through community development initiatives, Endangered Kind invests in long-term neighborhood strength by supporting grassroots leadership, expanding economic and social opportunity, and addressing the root causes of violence and divestment.
Whereas Endangered Kind's holistic and community-centered model aligns with evidence-informed best practices in violence prevention and reflects the City of Philadelphia's commitment to investing in solutions that center dignity and opportunity rather than punishment. Now, therefore, it be
Resolved by the City Council of Philadelphia hereby honors and commends Endangered Kind, its founder and executive director, John Solomon, and its leadership team for their commitment to fighting youth gun violence and their profound grassroots leadership, uplifting vulnerable young men, families, and communities throughout the city of Philadelphia.
And further resolved that an engrossed copy of this resolution be presented to Endangered Kind as an expression of the sincere admiration and gratitude of the Council of the City of Philadelphia. Congratulations, Endangered Kind. Thank you for your work.
The chair recognizes Executive Director John Solomon.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, City Council, and every family member, friend, and supporter who decided to come out here in support of our organization. I also would like to acknowledge our leadership team, Mr. Jalil Martin, Mr. Gary Hill, Mr. Nakeem Higgins, Mr. Ignite Lane, for doing such an awesome job at supporting this work. For those that don't know, my name is John Solomon. I am the founder and executive director of a local nonprofit organization called Endangered Kind, which was founded back in 2016 with the focus on improving community safety on the grassroots and systemic level. Because we understand that beyond gun violence, there are other systemic issues that exist, and gun violence is just a byproduct of that. In fact, we understand that beyond gun violence, we have other threats to our community. Right? Threats such as housing, right? Threats such as joblessness and living wages. Threats such as lack of access to healthcare and education, and other social, economic, and political disparities that exist within low-income communities. Which is why during the time where SNAP benefits were frozen, our organization decided to respond and feed and help hundreds of families across the North Philadelphia section. But what we've realized while we were serving these families is that we had to move beyond our pocket of the city, which is North Philly. We understood that if our goal is to advocate for people, if our goal is to serve people, we have to serve beyond our pocket, which is why we decided to launch what we call the Project Tour 2026, where we'll be visiting 13 different sections of the city because we believe we can't help who we don't hear. We have to hear from the people that we want to serve, and we want to advocate for them thoroughly. And I'll close with this, because I think we have a great opportunity for the people that we represent, which is the community, specifically low-income communities, right? In the year of the 250th year anniversary in the city of democracy, we have an opportunity to help those that are most in need, that's most impacted. Right? We have world-class events coming to the city of Philadelphia. Right? We have events that people can take advantage of in terms of opportunities, in terms of jobs, in terms of business opportunities, in terms of contracting opportunities. And I think that if we truly want to serve all Philadelphians, especially those that have been struggling generationally with poverty, then as a body, as city council, the mayor administration, and everybody that's invested into helping people, we have that opportunity to do so. I also would add, as we invest into housing, this is also an opportunity for people to be trained up, whether we got to put them in trade schools so they can be trained up and put in unions for them to have the opportunity to intern or take apprenticeships. We also want to give them opportunities to take advantage of all the economic opportunities coming to the city. So again, I'll close by just thanking Council President Kenyatta Johnson. He's been very supportive of the work that we've been doing over the last few years. And I also want to thank the City Council. All those that said yes to this resolution, we appreciate you. And I hope that we can continue to do this work and continue to work with council and other leaders in the city that's willing to do this work, which is why I made it my business to invite people with other organizations to come here, because they too need to be acknowledged. So again, I thank you, but I want to take the time out to allow some of our team members to say a few words.
Real quick, I'm not going to be too long. I just want to say thank God, number one, and most importantly, without him, none of this would be possible, man. Thank you to all our friends and family that's been supporting us along our journey, the city council members that voted for us to be able to receive this resolution. So many emotions running through me right now, man. I just want to say, yeah, thank you to everyone, and every day just try to fight to be the person that you needed when you were younger. Every single day, man, and that's all we doing. We fighting to be the person that we needed when we was young, when we was out there, you know what I'm saying? And if we don't do it, who's gonna do it?
How y'all doing? My name Gary Hill. I appreciate my friends, my family, everybody who out here supporting us. I just want to really give this moment to my man John. I just appreciate him just adding me to his vision and believing in me and giving me the opportunity just to, save people's lives. I've been shot, I've been in jail, and just get my story out to her, the people who looking for somebody who I was looking for when I was younger. That's all I'm gonna say, but we're gonna continue, we're gonna keep working. Y'all gonna see us again and again and again. Appreciate you, John.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I'm very important in including people. Also, the amazing Miss Makita Ill, she does a great job at administration and logistics and operations when it comes to our events.
That's right.
And that's my lady.
Where's she at?
Yeah.
Smart man.
I have to get right. And our youngest recruit, which is Kaim Hunter, we call him 150. He's 19 years old. We got him on the right path. And this is a moment where he gets to have the exposure and really see what it's like to do things the right way and get support from people that's oftentimes lacking. So I just wanted to make sure I acknowledge them. Again, I thank you, Council President, as well as the City Council for acknowledging us. I'm not sure, Mr. Nakeem. He's good. I appreciate y'all for coming out.
So, hold on. Before council is at ease, right? Young men, I want y'all to stand there. There's 5 of y'all, right? Part of the leadership team. 5 positive black men in the city of Philadelphia doing the right things for the right reasons, right? Channel 10. Look at that camera, y'all. You see that press box over there? I want to make sure y'all paying attention. Because oftentimes when you turn on the news, we don't see the images of positive black young men in the streets of Philadelphia doing the right things for the right reasons. We see the opposite. And so we want to make sure we continue to memorialize this moment and also create and tell our own narrative. So press, check them out, y'all. Council will be at ease. On behalf of Councilmember Dr. Anthony Phillips, who has several schools here during the Student Government Citywide Day here in City Council, the following schools are joining us. Boys Latin, Universal Orton Reed, Constitution High, Community College of Philadelphia, Westchester University, Drexel University, Russell Byers Charter School, Harambe Charter School, Temple University, Esperanza Charter School, Frankfurt High School, Abraham Lincoln High School, West Philadelphia High School, Friends Central, Independence Charter School, Tacony Charter School, Franklin Town, and Mastbaum High School. Welcome to City Council. The next order of business is communications. The chair requests that the Sergeant-at-Arms deliver the messages from the mayor to the chief clerk. Will the chief clerk please read the messages from the mayor and any other communications in her possession?
To the President and members of the Council of the City of Philadelphia, I am pleased to advise to you that on February 2nd, 2026, I signed the following bills which were passed by Council at its session on January 22nd, 2026. Bill number 250986 and Bill number 250990. There are no further communications in my possession, Council President.
Thank you very much. The messages will be printed in the journal. The next order of business is the introduction of bills and resolutions. The chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Anthony Phillips.
Thank you, Council President. Today I'm introducing 4 privilege resolutions, 2 on your behalf.
Thank you very much. Will the chief clerk please read the title of the resolutions?
A privileged resolution honoring and recognizing Black Girls Love Math for its work in eliminating racial and gender inequality in mathematics by cultivating a positive math identity for Black girls through culturally responsive enrichment, mentoring, and community in Philadelphia.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
It's a privilege.
I'm lunching. This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
A privileged resolution declaring February 5th, 2026 as Citywide Student Government Day in the City of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution declaring February 2026 as Black History Month in the City of Philadelphia and recognizing the 100th anniversary of its observance.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution congratulating Donna Cooper on her retirement and recognizing her transformational leadership and lifelong advocacy for children in Philadelphia and across the state of Pennsylvania.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes Majority Leader Kathleen Gilmore Richardson.
Good morning, Council President. Good morning, colleagues. Today I offer 2 privileged resolutions, one of which is on your behalf.
Thank you very much. Will the chief clerk please read the title of the privileged resolutions?
A privileged resolution recognizing February 2026 as Career and Technical Education Month in the City of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution honoring and congratulating Nicole Cashman, founder and chief executive officer of Cashman Associates, on the occasion of the firm's 25th anniversary and recognizing her remarkable contributions to the business community and cultural vitality of the City of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes Councilman Jamie Gautier.
Good morning, Council President. Nothing today.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Councilman Isaiah Thomas.
Good morning, Council President. Nothing today.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Councilman Curtis Jones, Jr.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today I offer 2 privileged resolutions.
Thank you very much. Will the chief clerk please read the title of the privileged resolutions?
A privileged resolution honoring and recognizing the legacy and contributions of Prince Hall Freemasonry during Black History Month.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution honoring and recognizing Rick Williams, Shari Williams, Yuki Washington, Thera Martin, and Solomon Jones for their service to Philadelphia as trusted journalists and stewards of truth during Black History Month.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes Councilman Curtis Jones.
Yes, Mr. President, we will be adding at least 2 names to that by the final time when we present. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The chair recognizes Councilman Rulandow.
Good morning, Council President, colleagues, and the public. I have 1 non-privileged resolution and 1 privileged resolution on your behalf.
Thank you very much. Would the chief clerk please read the title of the resolutions?
A privileged resolution recognizing and honoring Hugh E. Dillon, a.k.a. Philly Chitchat, for his remarkable contributions to the cultural and social life of the city and celebrating his work chronicling the spirit of Philadelphia.
Thank you very much. This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a non-privileged resolution commending the Pennsylvania General Assembly for including the Working Pennsylvanians tax credit in the 2025-2026 budget, a crucial new tool to provide essential resources and lift families out of poverty across the Commonwealth.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration at the next session of council. The chair recognizes Councilman Kessie Lozada.
Thank you, Council President. I have 1 privileged resolution today.
Thank you very much. Would the chief clerk please read the title of the privileged resolution?
A privileged resolution recognizing Bad Bunny's cultural impact, advocacy for historically underrepresented voices, and congratulating him on his 2026 Grammy Award for Album of the Year for Debí Tirar Más Fotos.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. Chair recognizes Councilmember Jeffrey J. Young.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today I offer 1 bill on your behalf.
Thank you very much. Would the chief clerk please read the title of the bill?
An ordinance amending Section 9-208 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Sidewalk Cafes and Section A-301.1.5 of Title IV, Subcode A, the Philadelphia Administrative Code of the Philadelphia Code entitled Zoning and Use Registration Permits by removing expired provisions related to outdoor entertainment at sidewalk cafes under certain terms and conditions.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee. Chair recognizes Councilman McKendra Brooks.
Thank you, Council President. I have 1 privileged resolution to introduce.
Thank you very much. Would the chief clerk please read the title of the privileged resolution?
A privileged resolution recognizing and celebrating the women of All of Us or None Philadelphia, Why Not Prosper, and SWAG for their efforts to address and fix laws that permit enslavement as a punishment for a crime on the occasion of Black History Month.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes Councilman Jim Harity.
Good afternoon, Council President. I have 1 non-privileged resolution and 2 privileged resolutions today.
Thank you very much. Would the chief clerk please read the title of the resolutions?
A privileged resolution recognizing the rise of cardiovascular disease as one of the world's leading causes of death and disability, and recognizing February 2026 as American Heart Month.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution authorizing the Committee on Labor and Civil Service and the Committee on Transportation to hold joint hearings regarding the arrival of driverless rideshare vehicles in the city of Philadelphia and its impact on labor, the local economy, and public safety.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a non-privileged resolution calling on the General Assembly of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to establish a comprehensive regulatory framework and conduct a formal safety and labor impact review of driverless rideshare vehicles operating in Philadelphia and throughout Pennsylvania.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration at our next session of council. The chair recognizes Councilmember Nicholas O'Rourke.
Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, Philadelphians. Nothing today.
Thank you very much. With the chief clerk, the chair recognizes Councilmember Mike Driscoll.
Good morning, Mr. President. 1 bill today.
Thank you very much. Would the chief clerk please read the title of the bill?
An ordinance to amend Title 14 of the Philadelphia Code by adding Section 14-546 entitled 6th District Overlay District to revise Section 14-515 in the Northeast Overlay District, remove Section 14-523, the Industrial and Manufacturing Overlay District, and make other related changes all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee. The chair recognizes Councilmember Brian O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no bills or resolutions.
Council Bietti. Chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer one bill and one privilege resolution.
Thank you very much. The Chief Clerk, please read the title of the bill and resolution.
An ordinance amending Chapter 9-600 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Service and Other Businesses to add a definition of fitness centers and provide a limited exception to the curfew permitting earlier hours of operation in the 7th and 8th Councilmatic districts, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a privileged resolution honoring the legacy of William Thaddeus Coleman Jr. and recognizing March 10th, 2026 as William Thaddeus Coleman Jr. Day in the city of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. Chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Nina Ahmad.
Thank you, Council President. I offer one bill, one privileged resolution, and one non-privileged resolution.
Thank you very much. Would the Chief Clerk please read the bill and resolutions for Councilmember Dr. Nina Ahmed?
An ordinance providing for the submission to the qualified electors of the City of Philadelphia of the proposal set forth in a resolution approved by Council proposing an amendment to the Philadelphia Home Rule Charter relating to the creation of the Philadelphia Child Welfare Commission and authorizing and directing the appropriate officers to publish notice and to make arrangements for the special election.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a non-privileged resolution proposing an amendment to the Philadelphia Home Rule Charter, providing for the creation of the Philadelphia Child Welfare Commission, and providing for the submission of the proposed amendment to the electors of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a privileged resolution honoring and recognizing Mercy Douglas Hospital as the first Black hospital in Philadelphia and commemorating the enduring legacy of its founder, Dr. Nathan Francis Mossel, and his commitment to advancing health equity and medical excellence.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The next order of business is reports from committee. The chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass for a report from the Committee on Rules.
Yeah, I'll take this one. Thank you, Mr. President. The Committee on Rules reports out 5 bills with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. Would the Chief Clerk please read the report?
The Committee on Rules, to which were referred the following bill. Bill number 251031, an ordinance repealing in its entirety Bill number 241055, approved December 23, 2024, entitled An Ordinance to Amend the Philadelphia Zoning Maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Packer Avenue, 7th Street, Pattison Avenue, and Darien Street, to amend Title 14 of the Philadelphia Code by adding Section 14-541 entitled Packer Avenue Overlay District and making other related changes all under certain terms and conditions, respectfully reports that has considered the same and returns the attached bill to Council with a favorable recommendation. Bill number 250917, an ordinance amending Section 14-529 of the Philadelphia Code entitled 5th District Overlay District to provide for building requirements to prevent vacant lots, all under certain terms and conditions. Bill number 250988, an ordinance amending Chapter 9-600 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Service and Other Businesses to add business hour restrictions in the 5th Councilmatic District and amending Section 14-529 of the Philadelphia Code entitled 5th District Overlay District to restrict certain commercial uses and make other related changes all under certain terms and conditions. And Bill number 250989, an ordinance amending Title 10 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Regulation of Individual Conduct and Activity by adding a new section to impose a temporary moratorium on the breeding and transfer of puppies, all under certain terms and conditions, respectfully reports it has considered and amended the same, and returns the attached bills to Council with a favorable recommendation. There are no further bills to report out from the Committee on Rules, Council President.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Bass for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading this day of the bills just read into the record by the clerk.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the rules of council be suspended so as to permit the consideration of these bills just read by the chief clerk at today's session of council. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. These bills will be placed on our first reading calendar for today. The chair recognizes Councilmember Mike Driscoll for a report from the Committee on Licenses and Inspections.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Committee on Licenses and Inspections reports out 2 bills with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. Will the chief clerk please read the report?
The Committee on Licenses and Inspection, to which were referred the following bills. Bill number 250980, an ordinance amending Chapter 9-3900 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Property Licenses and Owner Accountability by requiring non-resident landlords to provide verifiable contact information and a designated local contact and establishing penalties for noncompliance, all under certain terms and conditions. And Bill number 251097, an ordinance amending Chapter 9-4400 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Responsible Business Operations to add illegal sales of tobacco products to minors and unlicensed tobacco retailing as nuisance behaviors and require completion of a department-approved tobacco retailer education and compliance training as a condition of lifting a cease operations order, all under certain terms and conditions, respectfully reports it has considered and amended the same and returns the attached bills to council with a favorable recommendation. There are no further bills to report out from the Committee on Licenses and Inspection, Council President.
Thank you very much. The chair recognizes Councilman Mike Driscoll for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading this day of the bills just read into the record by the chief clerk.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the rules of council be suspended so as to permit the consideration of these bills just read by the chief clerk at today's session of council. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. These bills will be placed on our first reading calendar for today. The chair now recognizes Councilmember Dr. Nina Ahmed for a motion regarding special business.
Thank you, Council President. I move that the rules of council be suspended to permit consideration of special business at this time.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the rules of council be suspended so as to permit the consideration of special business at this time. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. The chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Nina Ahmed for a motion regarding resolution number 260050, introduced at our stated meeting on January the 22nd, 2026. Would the clerk please read the title of the resolution?
A resolution providing for the submission to the qualified electors of the City of Philadelphia of the proposal set forth in a resolution approved by council proposing an amendment to the Philadelphia Home Rule Charter relating to the creation of the Community Child Welfare Commission and authorizing and directing the appropriate officers to publish notice and to make arrangements for the special election.
Thank you very much. The chair recognizes Councilman Dr. Nina Ahmed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the resolution number 260050 be withdrawn.
It has been moved and properly seconded that resolution number 260050 be withdrawn. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. And resolution number 260050 has been withdrawn. The chair recognizes Councilman Dr. Nina Ahmed for a motion regarding resolution number 260027, introduced at our stated meeting on January 22nd, 2026. Would the clerk please read the title of the bill?
An ordinance proposing an amendment to the Philadelphia Home Rule Charter, providing for the creation of the Community Child Welfare Commission, and providing for the submission of the proposed amendment to the electors of Philadelphia.
Chair recognizes Councilman Dr. Nina Ahmed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that bill number 260027 be withdrawn.
It has been moved and properly seconded that bill number 260027 be withdrawn. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries, and bill number 027 has been withdrawn. The next order of business is the consideration of the calendar. I note that the bills just reported from committees with suspension of rules have been deemed to have had a first reading. These bills will be placed on a second reading and final passage calendar for the next session of council. As there are no additional bills on the first reading calendar, the chair recognizes Majority Leader, Councilmember Catherine Gilmore Richardson, for a motion concerning the bills and resolutions on the second reading and final passage calendars.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following bills and resolutions are being called up from the second reading and final passage calendars today. Numbers 260066. The following bills and resolutions on the calendar are being held: 241070, 260044, 250756, 250768, 250807, 250843, and 251025.
Thank you. Before considering these bills and resolutions, we will consider public comment as follows. Your public comment must concern matters on the second reading and final passage calendars for possible action at today's council session. All speakers must sign up in order to testify. If you had not already signed up for today's council session, please do so now by giving your name to Ms. Hassan at the table outside the rails to my left. Once you have signed up, you will be called in the order in which your name appears on the sign-up sheet. Under ideal circumstances, public commenters each will have 3 minutes to speak. However, this time limit may vary from session to session. The time limit today will be 2 minutes. In order to be fair to all those wishing to speak, I intend to hold faithfully to the 2-minute limit. When you begin speaking, you will see a green light on the podium. When there are 30 seconds remaining to your time, the light will turn yellow, which is your reminder to please conclude your remarks. Once 2 minutes have passed, the light will turn red, and the sergeant at arms will disconnect the microphone. At that point, please yield the podium to the next speaker if you have not already done so. I also reserve the right pursuant to our rules of council to limit repetitious comments on the same subject matter. I will now ask the chief clerk to please read the name of our first speaker.
Will Jeremy Blatstein, Lynn Landis, David Jenkins, and Atia Harmon please make your way to the podium?
Hello, City Council. My name is Jeremy Blatstein. First off, obviously, want to acknowledge John Solomon and the guys that were honored today. I got connected with him from Pastor Carl Day 4 years ago when I started tweeting about gun violence, and Pastor Carl called me out, said, "What does a white boy from Abington know about gun violence?" I said, "Absolutely nothing." And Pastor Carl sat down with me and schooled me. Really saw the work that the guys are doing in the trenches day in and day out and how important it is. I got connected with Queen Mother Falak Fatah, House of Moja. I sat and listened every Saturday for Solution Saturday for a whole year and learned so much from her. Gun violence isn't an easy thing to solve in this city, and I really appreciate the work that everyone's doing to support these organizations that are on the ground. So thank you very much for that. But with that being said, last week was Holocaust Remembrance Day. There was not a peep said in this room last week. I didn't see a post by any of you. It's okay. But the bigger issue, hey, Philadelphia news media.
Can I just correct the record? So from our, can I say, Jewish council member did do a joint statement, and she posted it, and I think everyone saw it. Member Rue Landau.
Yeah, okay, the token Jew of the council.
Now, see.
Yeah, as I can say that.
At this point in time, right, we were trying to be respectful of the process, and so at this point in time, I want to ask you to.
Okay, so what my point is, the point of order, right, is what occurred on Sunday in Rittenhouse Square, right? What the rally that happened. That was no mention in the media.
But I want to be respectful of you. It's not on the calendar right now, so if you want to have the Jewish, Palestine, Gaza conversation, have somebody introduce a bill and we can address it affirmatively. I try to give discretion. That's all we have for today. Thank you, sir. Next, please. No token.
Good morning.
Marks, Member Rue Landau. Please, Lynn Landis, please begin.
Good morning. I'm Lynn Landis of SafeStreetsPhilly.org and Philly's Republican Network. The anti-ICE resolution proposed today is a blatant reversal of the facts. It is not ICE agents, but instead illegal aliens, anti-ICE activists, and Democratic officials who have, quote, engaged and continue to engage in lawless, cruel, and unconstitutional activities, unquote. It is Democratic officials who continue to encourage anti-ICE activists to stalk, harass, and obstruct ICE agents. Can you imagine treating our own police this way? Of course, many people feel badly for the millions of illegal aliens who now live in fear of being caught by ICE. But whose fault is that? Well, it's theirs for knowingly violating our immigration laws. But it's also Democratic officials who entice them here to so-called sanctuary cities and states and then spent billions of taxpayers' dollars incentivizing them to stay. And despite all of that, the Trump administration has offered to pay nonviolent illegal aliens to return home. That is not cruel or heartless. That's bending over backwards to sensibly solve a national catastrophe that Democratic officials themselves have created. Unfortunately, I believe that what sponsors of this resolution really want are open borders, ICE out, illegals in. And that would lead to an endless invasion, insurrection.
Ms. Lynn Landis, just real quick, and you know I welcome all public comment, but we don't use the word aliens in this body. And so you can say immigrants, but we don't use aliens. So you can have your opinion, but we don't use aliens in this body.
That's your opinion?
Please proceed.
Are you saying that I cannot use the word aliens?
I just said we don't use aliens. Please proceed. Please proceed, ma'am.
Okay. So, okay.
Please proceed, Ms. Landis.
Yes. But it appears that the anti-ICE movement is really all about. That's what it's really all about. And they will succeed if average Americans fail to fight for our democracy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Landis.
Mr. President,
please begin, sir.
Mr. President, a quick point of order. I just wanted to reset the room. We don't use heinous language, nor do we treat our brother and sister from anywhere that way. That is appalling. We don't do that here, not in chambers. Let me reset. Mr. President, members and guests, I rise in celebration of 100th anniversary of Black History Month in America as the 13th generation of a Black American song woven into the fabric of this land 392 years ago, my ancestors arriving in Virginia in 1634. I rise today in solidarity with the Masonic Brethren as the 32nd degree Mason with a Masonic pedigree going back to 1865 with King Solomon Lodge No. 1 in North Carolina, a pedigree which has seen 4 Grand Masters in my family with Donald C. Jones, the Honorable Donald C. Jones, past Grand Master, Pennsylvania's 105th Grand Master being my last. I rise in recognition of Mercy Douglas Hospital as the first Black hospital in Philadelphia, commemorating its enduring legacy and that of its founder, Dr. Nathan Francis. I do so because my pioneering grandparents, Dr. Clarice Patricia Turner and Dr. Charles Hyde Debnam, would have it no other way. If you are a foundational Black American, please rise and remain standing. If you are a Masonic brother or a member of an appended body, please rise and remain standing. If you have inherited the blessings poured upon this community from the work of Mercy Douglas Hospital for Health Equality, please rise and remain standing. Look around, brothers and sisters of love. You have heard it said, stony the roads we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days unborn when hope had died. But I'm here to testify today that such roads have come to we who have come. a people of Jacob's ladder, a stairway of genetic origin tying man to the promises of the divine. We represent a force and a spirit that cannot be destroyed, not through chattel slavery, not by Jim Crow law, not by eugenics, nor redlining, voting restrictions, nor systematic equality, not even by tearing down signage from a historic wall. I want to add to the gentlewoman her many list of black mavericks with these names: Julian Francis Abel, architect of Philadelphia Museum of Art; Marian Anderson, America's contralto; names like Cecil B. Moore, W.E.B. Du Bois. I had a point of order. Richard Allen and Absalom Jones. And oh yes, we stand at a time. I had a point of order with the president. We stand at a time with American struggles. That was with my point of order. It was with the point of order, sir. I think I had time for the point of order. Council President, do I have time for the point of order? I do have time for the point of order. Thank you. It is today that I come to stand on business, to remind the world that we have not forgotten the God of our weary years, nor of our silent tears, the God who has brought us thus far along the way. He who has by thy might led us into the light. He who keeps us even now in the path we pray.
And
Good morning, City Council.
I'm sorry. And I'm sorry, could Olivia Oliver, Robin Morris, and Sheila Armstrong please make your way to the podium?
I am Atia Harmon, founder and executive director of Black Girls Love Math. I am speaking today to acknowledge our recognition sponsored by Councilperson Dr. Anthony Phillips and all of City Council in show of appreciation of our work in Philadelphia. This informs the importance of investing in Black girls and in early preventative education work. It sends a strong message that Philadelphia values programs that expand and access and opportunity. As the city is number 4th in the nation in life science sector, Black Girls of Math is helping to expand those horizons for our girls in our city. What we do, why we do it, and how the program works, I will go over quickly. We help Black girls see themselves as math people. We create joyful learning experiences that build real math skills, confidence, and a sense of belonging. When girls feel confident and supported, they're much more likely to stick with math and imagine futures that use it. I'm sure it's about half this room that says, I'm not a math person. Why it matters. Math confidence is a huge gatekeeper to opportunity. If students don't believe math is for them early on, they are less likely to take advanced classes later on or pursue STEM pathways. Black Girls of Math steps in early so confidence gaps don't turn into opportunity gaps. We, at our program, make intentional, joyful, and community-centered program. It does not feel like school, and that's a strong paramount of our values. Girls learn together, build friendships, and see math connected to real life. Families often tell us that relationships and confidence that their kids gain are just as important as academic growth. We run 2 types of programs, closed enrollment and open enrollment. Closed enrollment is for schools, and we partner with Global Leadership Academy as well as Girard College. Thank you, Jeffrey Young. A lot of schools want to work with us, but many just don't have the funds to pay for an enrichment program. Is my time? Does that mean it's up? I don't know what this means. We have a program for the the Greater Philadelphia community that started yesterday on Wednesdays to offer access to all students. As we continue to grow and expand progress, we want to meet the demand and grow thoughtfully. So sustainable public and philanthropic funding is critical, and with more support, we can serve more Black girls in our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Councilmember Majority Captain Gilmore Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following resolution will be called up today, 260044. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Councilmember Jim Harity.
Thank you, Council President, and thank you for giving me a little time here. You know, I'm a little upset. I'm getting tired of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? People want to come in here and talk without doing their homework. Okay? Because I can tell you right now, there were multiple statements put out. One, I had my statement that Senator Street wrote as a Muslim about the incident on my Facebook page less than an hour after the thing started. I called Rabbi Kushner, on the phone to see if there was anything that we could do. So I take offense to him calling out us when he doesn't do his homework. And I'm for everybody getting to voice their opinion, okay? We don't usually say anything. But enough is enough here. It was wrong, it wasn't right, and for somebody to even get up and do an inkling to call out my colleague, our only member of Jewish descent on this council body, is just outrageous, okay? She made her statement, she did it right away, just like the rest of us did. We don't stand for hate here in this council, so get it straight. If you're coming in here with hate, take it the hell home.
Well, time out. Pause. Now, you know I love you, Member Harity. What I got my little kids, little children inside behind the rails, watching democracy. Y'all don't go home and use that word, all right? Council will resume. Thank you, Member Harity.
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead, young lady.
Hi, my name is Olivia Oliver. I'm a 7th grader and I attend Endangered Elementary in South Philadelphia. When I grow up, I want to be in the tech industry, like one of our heroes, Sierra McDonald, who is a black woman game designer. I've been with Black Girls Love Math since it started 5 years ago. I was in 2nd grade and first attended the weekend program, which taught me more ways to learn math than the standard ways at school. I love visiting Spelman College and the State Capitol building in Harrisburg to advocate for Black Girls Love Math as an ambassador. Thank you, City Council, for recognizing Black Girls Love Math as we help girls in Philadelphia like me get into STEM.
Good morning. My name is Robin Morris, and I'm the Executive Director of the Garces Foundation. For more than a decade, our organization has served Philadelphia's immigrant workforce through education, job training, and comprehensive health care. We work with the people who power the city, our restaurant and hospitality workers, construction workers, caregivers, and small business owners. Immigrants are a critical part of our civic, cultural, and economic foundation in Philadelphia and across the country. They contribute more in taxes than they receive in benefits. They strengthen our neighborhoods, and they make our city safer. And yet, for the first time in our organization's history, we are seeing a decline in enrollment. That is not because people no longer want to learn English, gain job skills, or access health care. It's because fear has reached a breaking point. People are afraid to leave their homes unless absolutely necessary. At the Garces Foundation, we've spent a decade building trust with the communities we serve across the city. When fewer people come through our doors, it tells us something profound. The fear is deep and justified. That fear is being driven by the unlawful and inhumane actions of ICE. We have seen families separated, people detained without judicial warrants, and individuals harmed or killed in custody. These practices undermine constitutional protections and make all of us less safe. HR 7147 would continue to allocate billions of our taxpayer dollars to the Department of Homeland Security, including roughly $10 billion more for ICE. This bill sustains and enables the expansion of enforcement capacity without corresponding oversight or accountability. I'm here today to urge City Council to support Resolution 260066 and to ask Senators Fetterman and McCormick and all senators committed to the Constitution and rule of law to vote no on HR 7147. If we want safer, stronger communities, we must invest in our people, schools, hospitals, and communities, not in fear, surveillance, and violence. Thank you.
Could we please have Jake Zychik, Bishop Michelle Simmons, John McAuley, and Phil Lockett please make your way to the podium.
Ms. Armstrong, please begin.
Good afternoon. My name is Sheila Armstrong. Some of y'all know me, some of y'all don't. I have to be honest that I'm really not happy to be here today because of the fact that I'm not happy to be here today because of what God had put on my heart to say today. I really try to stay in my lane. I created Cooker for Autism so I could do my advocacy work in peace and mind my own business and just help the people that I like to help because I don't do politics. I don't like politics, and y'all know this. God put on my heart a warning that is coming from the book of Matthew 6:5 and Matthew 23:15. The message is, woe to you, elected officials of the law. You are hypocrites. Woe to you that organize on the backs of parents and students of the Philly School District, but yet more schools are closing. Woe to you that supported the plastic bag ban, but manufacturers are using plastic for everything. That hardship of people paying for bags to take their grocery home. Woe to you that supported the resign and run legislation, but now trying to change it because it now affects you. Woe to you that shout one Philly, but villainize those that disagree with you. Woe to you that claims to be representations of God, but support legislation that is against him. Woe to you that says you support women and talk bad about any woman that stands against you or whatever your policies or anything that you're doing. Woe to you that work for special interest groups that donated to your campaign, but leave the rest of us people out here desperately searching for hope from somewhere. Woe to you that continually saying the ICE out because in these streets, it's being interpreted as illegal immigrants is in, and that this council cares more about illegal immigrant than the American citizens in this city. Woe to you, elected officials, hypocrites. Woe to you.
You have 2 minutes. Take the mic for the record. Jacob Zaitchik. Thank you to Councilmember Harity and the entire Philadelphia City Council for recognizing February as Heart Month. Heart disease is the leading cause of death of Philadelphians. More than 4 in 10 women in the United States have a form of cardiovascular disease, such as heart disease and stroke, a figure that is actually continuing to expect it to grow. Each year, heart disease and stroke kill more women than all forms of cancer combined, and unfortunately, risk factors like obesity, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and inactivity are actually increasing. I really want to thank everyone in Philadelphia City Council for working closely with the American Heart Association in the past year. Together, we've worked to expand access to healthier foods. We've worked to really reduce it and try to end the youth vaping epidemic, and also have worked to strengthen tobacco retailer enforcement. So once again, I want to thank Philadelphia City Council for working closely with the American Heart Association, and really want to thank Councilmember Jim Harity for introducing the resolution to recognize February as Heart Month. Thank you all and have a great day.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bishop Michelle Simmons, and I want to appreciate Council President Kenyatta Johnson, all the council members, God bless y'all. So, Council President, distinguished members, City Council, and all the other honored guests, thank you for the opportunity to stand before you today with my team as one of the women proudly proposing the resolution. Alongside my sisters from SWAG, we also have the Malik Aziz chapter of All of Us or None, who is proposing this bill. I'm deeply grateful for the moment during Black History Month, a time when we honor truth, courage, and ongoing justice and fight for justice. This resolution speaks to an issue. It's both historical and it's urgent. The language of the 13th Amendment still permits slavery as punishment for crime. Because of that loophole, generations of Black, Latino, Indigenous, Asian, Pacific Islanders, and other communities have continued to experience forced labor, exploitation, and dehumanizing conditions inside our prisons. We see it in wages, Pennies on the dollar. We see it in the labor that fuels state agencies and private industries, and we see it in the lives of the women we serve every day. For those of us who work directly with women returning home from incarceration, this is not theory. It is lived experience. It is the story of women who survived a system that was designed to break them, yet who still rise with dignity, purpose, strength, and that's the reason we're here. Their voices are never going to stop. As a proposer of the resolution, I and the team stand firmly in belief that Pennsylvania must move from beyond outdated constitutional language, and my timer went off, so can I get another 30 seconds? Align our laws with our values that's rooted in humanity, fairness, and true freedom. Ending the vestige of slavery is not symbolic, it is necessary, and it is moral, and it is long overdue.
Thank you, Reverend Simmons.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Salim Holbrook, as well, for your work on this particular issue.
Will John McAuley, Phil Lockett, and Obona Higgins please make your way to the podium?
My name is John McAuley. I'm with a grassroots organization called Flip Philly Red. We're here to give something different to Philadelphia, something that y'all are not used to because you've been voting Democrat for the mayor's office for the past 70 years. It's not MAGA who's doing all of the carjacking and the shootings. When we talk about ICE, when 78 million people, 7 swing states, including Pennsylvania, we voted for this. We voted for this. We gave a mandate. So I want to sit here and tell U.S. Senator John Fetterman, U.S. Senator Dave McCormick to vote yes and support H.R. 7147. I sit here in disgust as I watch Kendra Brooks, Jamie Gunthier hold up pictures of a domestic terrorist, Renee Good. I never seen her put up a picture of Dakara Thompson, a 19-year-old who was raped and murdered by an illegal alien and thrown over a bridge. I never seen her put up a picture of Lincoln Riley, who was raped and murdered. I never seen her put up a picture of Larisha Thompson, a mother. I named 2 black women, by the way. And y'all sit here and pander to white liberal women like Renee Good.
Could you speak on the resolution?
I'm speaking on all of it. It's my First Amendment right. I'm gonna speak. It all goes hand in hand.
Just make sure you speak on the resolution.
We wanted to fund. We want to fund to deport 20 million illegal aliens that was imported in here by the Biden and Harris administration with the help of the cartels. So won't y'all stand up for Americans for once? Because America comes first.
Thank you for your opinion. Thank you very much. Please call the next person for public comment, please.
Will Phil Lockett please approach the podium, and then Obona Higgins.
Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Brother Phil, a.k.a. Kasahu. I rise today to oppose Bill 241-056 and 241-070 because it denies the true meaning of our democracy. One hat at a time to run for any position in government. This allows sitting officials with favoritism to deny fair and transparent elections of citizens to a fair chance to participate in a fair and transparent election positions. This bill creates a monopoly to stop citizens from participating in our democracy fairly. I had a council person that they were on every board in our community, and you couldn't get nothing passed. Don't make her mad, because no matter if you went around the corner and went to another agency, she can stop you from there because she was on every board around here. So we gotta stop this being in one position and then jumping to another position and then jumping to another position just to monopolize the positions of democracy. We cannot allow this anymore. If you are a city official and you want to run for another position, then you got to resign your position, just like the person that's coming off the street and running for the position. They don't have a position. And so the sitting official shouldn't have that leverage. That's being unfair, and I think we need to take a closer look at that, Councilman President. And I thank y'all, and have a good day.
Thank you, Phil.
Good afternoon. Obona Hagins, fourth generation chattel slavery survivor. I'm here to speak on Resolution 260066, which urges U.S. senators to uphold the Constitution and the rule of law. This resolution reminds us that federal power must operate within legal limits, and when it does not, communities whose rights are directly affected are the ones who suffer. A clear example here in Philadelphia is the President's House. The slavery exhibit there was removed by federal authorities, something that should never have happened. That exhibit documented the constitutional fact, chattel slavery at the seat of the presidency. Its removal erased history and harmed the descendants of the enslaved. Even the act of removing it required consultation with the people most directly affected, American freedmen. That consultation never happened. That absence is not symbolic. It's a continuing harm, a 13th Amendment violation. My organization, the Philadelphia Reparations Coalition for American Freedmen, we filed a Next Friends petition on behalf of the roughly 700,000 descendants of U.S. chattel slavery in Philadelphia who were harmed by this removal. The petition ensures they have a voice when federal actions threaten their history and their right.
Yeah, what resolution? Are we speaking on ICE or are we speaking on?
No, brother, listen. You can't control how I go through my speech because I'm going to end it with that. And you keep interrupting me and you mess up my flow. Hold up. No, the council president got to give me respect.
Bring it home, sir. Go ahead.
This shows why the president's house must be protected and why the Office of Freedmen Affairs is necessary. That office would provide the institutional voice, so no federal decision affecting American freedmen, the American freedmen's history, or rights could occur without their input. The Next Friends petition ensures representation, and the Office of Freedmen Affairs would prevent this kind of violation from happening. I'd like to thank Councilman Curtis Jones last week. Amazing for you to speak about the American freedmen. The first council member who's openly spoken about the progeny of the emancipated. Obona Hagins. Out. Over and out.
There are no additional names for public comment, Council President.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to take a brief moment and acknowledge that we had some young folks from Imhotep Charter High School here from the 8th Council District. Right up here, all right. And so they are a part of the mock trial team which competed at both the singles and world championships in 2025, which was its first year of existence. So we just wanted to welcome our future lawyers here today. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau.
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to take a second to comment on what happened during public comment today. It was very disturbing to hear how our body was characterized. And I want to thank you for pointing out in correcting the record for the statements that were made, and certainly thanking all of my colleagues for not only supporting me, but supporting the Jewish community. We are a very diverse body, and we are doing our best in this beautiful city that we have, that we each stand up and speak out when we can, and we always support each other. So I feel your support, the Jewish community feels your support, and I want to thank you so much.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Councilman Ketzler-Zada.
Are we doing speeches?
That concludes our public comment period for today. We will now consider the bills and resolutions on the second reading and final passage calendar. Would the clerk please read the title of resolution number 260044?
A resolution expressing City Council's priorities for the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation's 95 Revive project from Center City to South Philadelphia.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Majority Leader Catherine Gilmore Richardson for a motion regarding resolution number 260044.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of Councilmember Squilla, I move the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that resolution number 260044 be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. The resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of resolution number 260066?
A resolution urging U.S. Senators John Fetterman and Dave McCormick, as well as all United States senators committed to upholding the Constitution of the United States and the rule of law, to vote no on H.R. 7147 and to reject increased funding for immigrations and customs enforcement.
Chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau for a motion regarding resolution number 260066.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that resolution number 260066 be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Member Brooks, would you like to be acknowledged and voted yes on all bills and resolutions?
Yes, Council President, thank you.
Thank you very much. It will be recorded and duly noted. Will the clerk please read any additional resolutions on today's calendar?
A privileged resolution honoring and recognizing Black Girls Love Math for its work in eliminating racial and gender inequality in mathematics by cultivating a positive math identity for Black girls through culturally responsive enrichment, mentoring, and community in Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Phillips.
Chair recognizes Councilman Dr. Anthony Phillips for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution declaring February 5th, 2026 as Citywide Student Government Day in the City of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Phillips.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Anthony Phillips for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution declaring February 2026 as Black History Month in the City of Philadelphia and recognizing the 100th anniversary of its observance, introduced by Councilmember Phillips on behalf of Council President Johnson.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Anthony Phillips for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. On your behalf, I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution congratulating Donna Cooper on her retirement and recognizing her transformational leadership and lifelong advocacy for children in Philadelphia and across the state of Pennsylvania, introduced by Councilmember Phillips on behalf of Council President Johnson.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Anthony Phillips for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. On your behalf, we celebrate Donna Cooper. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Would the clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution recognizing February 2026 as Career and Technical Education Month in the City of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Gilmore Richardson.
The chair recognizes Majority Leader Councilmember Catherine Gilmore Richardson for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Would the Chief Clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution honoring and congratulating Nicole Cashman, founder and chief executive officer of Cashman Associates, on the occasion of the firm's 25th anniversary and recognizing her remarkable contributions to the business community and cultural vitality of the City of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Gilmore Richardson on behalf of Council President Johnson.
The chair recognizes Majority Leader Catherine Gilmore Richardson for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move the adoption of the resolution on your behalf.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution honoring and recognizing the legacy and contributions of Prince Hall Freemasonry during Black History Month, introduced by Councilmember Jones.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Jones for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the co-signers on this resolution that are Masons. I move for the adoption.
And those co-signers are our members. Councilmember Jim Harity, Councilman Nicholas O'Rourke. So mote it be. It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution honoring and recognizing Rick Williams, Shari Williams, Yuki Washington, Thera Martin, and Solomon Jones for their service to Philadelphia as trusted journalists and stewards of truth during Black History Month, introduced by Councilmember Jones.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Jones for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for its adoption.
It has been moved and properly seconded the resolution be adopted. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Councilman Jamie Gaultier.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to be recorded as voting aye on all, every piece of legislation I missed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Will be duly noted and recorded. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution recognizing and honoring Hugh E. Dillon, a.k.a. Philly Chitchat, for his remarkable contributions to the cultural and social life of the city, and celebrating his work chronicling the spirit of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Landau on behalf of Council President Johnson.
Thank you very much. The chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau for a motion.
I move for the adoption of the resolution for Philly Chitchat.
It has been moved and properly seconded. The resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution recognizing Bad Bunny's cultural impact, advocacy for historically underrepresented voices, and congratulating him on his 2026 Grammy Award for Album of the Year, Debbie Tira Mas Fotos, introduced by Councilmember Lasada.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Ketsi Lozada for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Councilmember Isaiah Thomas.
Thank you, Council President. I apologize, but I would like to be recorded as aye on all bills and resolutions that I may have missed. Thank you, Council President. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you. Will be duly noted and recorded. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution recognizing and celebrating the women of All of Us or None, Philadelphia, Why Not Prosper and Swag, for their efforts to address and fix laws that permit enslavement as a punishment for a crime on the occasion of Black History Month, introduced by Councilmember Brooks.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Kendra Brooks for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution recognizing the rise of cardiovascular disease as one of the world's leading causes of death and disability, and recognizing February 2026 as American Heart Month, introduced by Councilmember Harity.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Jim Harity for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution, and I also like to be voted aye on any bill I may have missed.
Thank you very much. To be duly noted. Is there a second? It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution authorizing the Committee on Labor and Civil Service and the Committee on Transportation to hold joint hearings regarding the arrival of driverless rideshare vehicles in the City of Philadelphia and its impact on labor, the local economy, and public safety, introduced by Councilmember Harity.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Jim Harity for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. On behalf of me and Councilman Driscoll, I move for second.
You move for the adoption.
I move for the adoption of the resolution. I'm sorry. Got a little tongue-tied.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution honoring the legacy of William Thaddeus Coleman Jr. and recognizing March 10th, 2026 as William Thaddeus Coleman Jr. Day in the City of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Bass.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution honoring and recognizing Mercy Douglas Hospital as the first Black hospital in Philadelphia and commemorating the enduring legacy of its founder, Dr. Nathan Francis Mossel, and his commitment to advancing health equity and medical excellence, introduced by Councilmember Ahmed.
The Chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Nina Ahmed for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
There are no further resolutions in my possession, Council President.
Thank you very much. That completes our calendar for today. Are there any speeches on behalf of the minority? The Chair recognizes Councilmember Kendra Brooks.
Thank you, Council President. One of the traditions in my office I'm most proud of is the work we do each year for Black History Month. We honor people and elders in our community who deserve recognition and are often left out of the history books. These are Black women who are making history through a fierce commitment to Black progress that is unrelenting in the face of adversity. So today, I bring forth a resolution about the struggle to end enslavement in the United States. The resolution is to honor and recognize the women of Why Not Prosper, SWAG, and All of Us or None, Philadelphia. There is more work to do to ensure that Black people are truly free, especially now while Trump actively tries to erase our history, as we saw at the President's House Slave Memorial. The women of Why Not Prosper, SWAG, and All of Us, or None, Philadelphia, are still fighting to end this country's original sin of slavery. They fight against deep injustice of laws, including the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, that allows enslavement as punishment for a crime. These laws have led to a system that incarcerates Black people at extremely high rates and profits off their labor. Until these laws are fixed, the enslavement for profit is eliminated, our country is not living up to the liberty and justice for all. The Reverend Dr. Michelle Simmons and many other women who work alongside her are not just celebrating Black history here today, they are creating it. I'm so grateful for their leadership and wisdom, and I'm grateful to be in this fight with them. I want to thank my colleagues for their support on the resolution Councilmember Landau and I introduced, calling on the U.S. Senate to withhold funding for DHS. As we saw last week, the people in Philadelphia do not want any of our city resources to go towards ICE. I want to thank you also to everyone who supported our ICE Out legislation package. It's important that the people of our city see this council taking action, and I'm grateful we are working to deliver that together. Councilmember Landau and I also introduced a resolution commending Pennsylvania state legislator for establishing a Working Pennsylvanians tax credit, which puts money back into the pockets of working families. Thank you to our Governor, Josh Shapiro, and the Philadelphia leadership in the House who got this done. This new tax credit aligns with my proposal to expand our city's wage tax refund program. I introduced this bill last year as part of the People's Tax Plan with Minority Whip O'Rourke, and we should follow the lead of our governor and do the same for working families right here in Philadelphia. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Any speeches on behalf of the majority? The chair recognizes Council Member Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today, in honor of Black History Month, and as Philadelphia prepares to mark the 250th anniversary of our nation, I want to honor a Philadelphian who helped make the promise of American democracy tangible for countless people. William Thaddeus Coleman Jr. was born and raised in this city, educated in our public schools, and shaped by a deep commitment to justice that carried him from Germantown to the United States Supreme Court. From the fight to desegregate Girard College to the halls of the cabinet as Secretary of Transportation. Time and time again, he broke barriers not for recognition, but to open doors for others. Secretary Coleman's brilliance, courage, and devotion to equal justice earned him our nation's highest honors, yet his roots always remain right here in Philadelphia. By proclaiming March 10, 2026 as William Thaddeus Coleman Jr. Day, we affirm that his legacy belongs to the city and to the future generations, and we look forward to sharing more information in the coming weeks in terms of how we will celebrate. I also want to highlight an important adjustment that we made to our curfew ordinance, one that came directly from listening to our communities. We heard from residents, business owners, and workers who rely on early morning access to gyms and fitness facilities, and people told us this wasn't just about convenience, it was about health, routines, jobs, and quality of life. 1 hour really makes a considerable difference, especially in the morning. So we made a targeted exception to allow fitness facilities to open earlier while still honoring the intent of the curfew law. To do that responsibly, we also realized we needed clarity. The ordinance didn't have a clear definition for facilities like a Planet Fitness or similar gyms, so instead of forcing them into categories that didn't quite fit, we created a definition that actually matches the reality. This new definition focuses on commercial establishments whose purpose is physical exercise, conditioning, and overall wellness, things like cardio training, strength training, and group fitness classes. This change reflects our commitment to being responsive, practical, and focused on making policy that works in real life, not just on paper. And we always want folks to reach out to my office or my colleague, Councilwoman Ketsi Lozada, if there's something that we can support with or if there are further questions around this particular piece of legislation. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. The chair recognizes Councilman Jeffrey J. Young.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just want to make a quick few announcements on events that our office is having in our community. On Monday, this Monday, February 9th, we are hosting a virtual event in partnership with the Committee of 70 and the City Commissioner's Office on a nonpartisan civic education program on how to run for committee person here in the city of Philadelphia. That is a virtual event. If you would like more information, you can reach out to our office. We can send you the link to that event, or you can join in the call as well. But we want everyone to be informed about your civic engagement here in the city of Philadelphia. Also, later on this month, our office will be hosting a property tax community meeting in the Yorktown community. hosted at Bright Hope Baptist Church. That'll be on February 17th. We're going to be sending this information out to members of that community. And anyone who wants to participate or join, please feel free. It'll be at 6 o'clock on February 17th, and we'll make sure to continue to promote this event at our next sessions of council. This meeting will also be live streamed as well for those who can't attend in person. In our office, during the month of Ramadan, Mr. President, we have partnered with Majlis Al-Shura of Delaware Valley, the Commissioner's Office, Office of Muslim Engagement. I'm hoping to help my colleague, Councilman Curtis Jones, could join us as well, as we are accepting donations during the month of Ramadan of toys. We're going to have a toy drop during Ramadan, and so during the Eid celebrations, children of the Muslim faith can go ahead and have some presents after their celebration, after their holy month. They're going to be drop-off locations at both my offices, the City Hall location, our district office location, Makkah Mosque, at 1319 Susquehanna Avenue is participating as well. And also, as I mentioned, the Philadelphia City Commissioner's Office will have drop boxes off at all 10 locations throughout the city during the month of Ramadan. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Councilman Jim Harity.
Thank you, Council President. Sometimes things to me don't make sense. So I was very outraged with the president's house and the plaques being taken down. And listen, I didn't know if it was my place to even say anything. And as I do with lots of things, I went to one of my mentors, which is Congressman Brady. And it was just like Total Recall, because I hadn't remembered at the time. But he said, Jimmy, don't you remember that we fought for $3.5 million for that project?
Sure did.
As soon as he said that, it shot into my head. It wasn't the $3.5 million that I remembered about that day. That day was the groundbreaking. And Bobby was very excited and proud of that. And Michael Coord was there and a bunch of other people who had fought for this for years. So the congressman brought his grandchildren with him. And while we were standing there, just waiting for the service to begin, as kids do, they started asking questions. And they asked him what slavery was. Mm-hmm. And I was standing there like, oh, snap. You know what I mean? What's he going to do with this one? Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget, he kneeled down and he started talking to those two little kids. And he explained what it was, what had happened, the truth. And you know what those kids said to him? First question they asked. Grandpa, we don't still do that, do we? Imagine that. From the mouth of babes, right? Kids don't know hate. They just know what we tell them. And I didn't even remember that until Congressman Brady reminded me. And he said, I'm outraged too. So yes, it is our responsibility to say something. And I'm a history guy, you all know that. I don't want to say I'm a history buff, but I'm a wealth of useless information. Especially when it comes to the Philadelphia Democratic Party. I started driving Senator Sanfranti when I was 16, 17 years old. And I drove everybody, Carol Campbell, John Street, John Green, Bob Brady, Senator Sanfranti. And I learned from all of them. So I say that to say that when Bobby told me about his outrage, he also reminded me of a poem. So I'd like for you to indulge me for 1 minute. And the poem goes, first they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and again, I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Well, I got something to say here. I ain't waiting for them to come to me. I'm ready to fight this head on with my colleagues, no matter what we have to do to get those back up there. As the historian here, I can tell you the real fact, the legal fact is that this was a joint legal agreement between the city of Philadelphia and the National Parks Association. First time ever. It was a joint agreement with joint say in what was going on and what was going to be placed there. Because one thing I know about history is that if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Member Harity. Try to remind folks that Black history is American history. Chair recognizes Councilman Jamie Gautier.
Thank you, Council President. Today we mourn the loss of Mr. Timothy Darrell Sapp Sr., a Mantua resident, Army veteran, dedicated community gardener, barbecue master, and a 28-year specialized heavy equipment operator with the Department of Streets, who suddenly, unexpectedly, and tragically lost his life on the job after many days of backbreaking work responding to the recent snowstorm. Mr. Sapp exemplified public service. He loved what he did, passing up management opportunities to stay with his coworkers and mentor new employees. Far too often, essential city workers like Mr. Sapp do not feel seen or valued. So I'm here today to say unequivocally that Tim Sapp's life mattered, that his sudden passing cuts deep, that we will not forget that while we were warm and safe at home, he was out in the snow and the frigid cold, getting our city back up and running. Let me be clear, Tim Sapp died in a line of duty. He made the ultimate sacrifice for Philadelphia, and his death matters just as much as that of a police officer or a firefighter. I am also thinking of Mr. Sapp's loving and faithful wife, Corinne, who he met in the first grade at McMichael Elementary, and of his children, Brittany, Nanette, and Timothy Jr., who loved their father dearly. Next week, I will introduce a resolution to honor the memory and celebrate the life of Timothy Darrell Sapp Sr. But I felt compelled to do something today so that his family and coworkers know that we are holding them in our hearts. I ask that all of you keep Mr. Sapp's loved ones in your prayers, and that we lift up DC 33 and every union worker who shows up every single day on behalf of our great city. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Member Gautier. Chair recognizes Councilman Rulandell.
Thank you, Council President. First, I'd like to raise up the amazing presentations we had earlier today as City Council kicks off Black History Month. We have so much phenomenal Black history here in Philly, and some living history that joined us as guests today as well. I'm looking forward to celebrating the Black excellence, resilience, and legacy in Philadelphia this month. Today, my resolution along with Council Member Kendra Brooks, urging Senator John Fetterman and Dave McCormick to reject an increased $10 billion in funding for immigration and customs enforcement passed in City Council. ICE agents have engaged and continue to engage in an assault on some of our most vulnerable neighbors. Increasing funding for DHS and ICE will only increase their ability to cause chaos and harm in communities across the city, including here in Philadelphia. I'd also like to remind folks here that as we get into the heart of tax season, Pennsylvanians can claim an extra tax credit this year. More than 1 million Pennsylvanians are eligible for the new Working Pennsylvanians tax credit, an earned income tax credit that will provide $193 million in tax relief for working families this year. This is one of our greatest anti-poverty tools that we have, so I'm very excited to see this, as well as the child tax credit available for eligible Pennsylvanians. Also now in effect are the new SNAP work requirements. These changes require recipients ages 18 to 64 without dependents to work, volunteer, or participate in an education or training program for 20 hours a week in order to maintain benefits. For more information, please reach out to my office or visit the website of the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services. Finally, I'd like to thank Governor Shapiro for unveiling a budget that protects renters and prioritizes housing in Pennsylvania. Last year, my move-in affordability plan capped application fees here in Philadelphia at $50. I was pleased to hear a similar proposal from Governor Shapiro during his budget address yesterday. No one, whether you're in Philly, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, or any other town in between, no one deserves to be priced out of a home before they even get the keys. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Councilman Ketchy Lozada.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to say that I am a proud immigrant. I'm proud of my culture. I'm proud of my history. I'm proud of my accent. I'm proud of my nappy curls. And I want to thank each one of my colleagues today who co-sponsored the bill recognizing Bad Bunny and his accomplishments. For me, especially at a time in like the one we're living today, it is important, and you mentioned it earlier, right, for us to shape the narrative about our own communities. And so, happy Black History Month, right? And while Bad Bunny is not black, he has taken a very vocal position about what is happening in our nation. We honored Bad Bunny today for his great achievements. He stands as a symbol of influence for his generation, crushing global records while firmly anchoring himself in the rich tapestry of Puerto Rican identity and culture. His momentous win at the Grammys, receiving the Album of the Year for Debí Tirar Más Fotos, marks a watershed of music history, the first all Spanish language album to achieve this honor. Bad Bunny's rise is not just a personal triumph, but a political testament, a resounding victory against the historical erasure of Puerto Rican culture and identity. In an era fraught with social and political polarization, his recognition underscores the profound power of music to bridge divides across language, cultures, and borders. In a climate rife with anti-immigrant sentiment, Bad Bunny's touching declaration resonates. We are not savages. We are not animals. We are not aliens. We are humans, and we are Americans, emphasizing love over hate and defending his community. Through his artistry and public persona, he has empowered millions of Latino listeners to feel acknowledged, valued, and rooted in both local and global platforms. Such representation is vital for youth grappling with identity, language, and sense of belonging, and indeed for all of us. The award he received and his unwavering authenticity represent not just a personal victory, but a win for culture and humanity. In a world that frequently demands Latino communities to dilute and downplay their essence for acceptance, Bad Bunny's shattering example conveys a powerful message that transcends borders. You belong here. Embrace who you are. Recent reflections suggest that Bad Bunny carried more than a Grammy trophy in his hand. He bore the hopes, aspirations, and search for possibility of his people. And he urged Puerto Ricans around the world to believe in themselves. There is nothing we can't achieve. Indeed, this statement rings true. This award stands as a strong affirmation for Puerto Rican pride and cultural identity. His bravery not only transforms music, it reshapes the narrative of what individuals believe is possible for their own lives. When artists like Bad Bunny carve their own paths, appearing in their full authenticity, without apology and without compromise, they unleash the potential for extraordinary change. I'm filled with immense pride as I witness Bad Bunny stand boldly, unyielding, unfiltered, and unafraid. His presence inspires me to stand taller in my own identity, and I hope it does the same for each of you. I hope we all use his boldness as an example of courage. I pray that we all find within ourselves and stand up and speak out against hate and injustice, and stand together for love and for one another. No hay nada que podemos lograr como inmigrantes y como americanos. Juntos, unidos, seremos una nación mejor. I encourage all of you to watch the real Super Bowl halftime, the Benito Bowl, and I hope you all enjoy your t-shirts. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I also want to remind everyone that Women Against Abuse is holding a briefing in the caucus room immediately after council. They will be sharing resources and a better understanding of domestic violence and how we as council can better support domestic violence victims. Thank you.
You. Chair recognizes Councilman Dr. Anthony Phillips.
Thank you, Council President, and thank you to everyone today who has spoken. Youth leadership matters, and here's why. In the city of Philadelphia, where we witness racism, anti-Semitism, and often other derogatory terms, it is important that we recognize that young people are observing these things. And then when they're observing these things, our young people are beginning to soak that in, that information. As leaders, young leaders, they are beginning to understand that they have a voice, and we need to provide them with a platform to have that voice, because they're going to be the generation that is going to stand up against these things. The reason why it was important for us to recognize the student and government associations across the city of Philadelphia, from colleges, universities, to public high schools, is because this is where young people start to develop the leadership skills to retaliate against racism, anti-Semitism, sexism, and so many more issues. It is an opportunity for them to say, I have an idea, and I want to help, and I want to solve problems that are going against the citizens of Philadelphia and beyond. So I was proud to work with the Mayor's Office of Youth Engagement to recognize all of these organizations in our city, and also to uplift today a youth organization that is challenging young black women to understand that you can be anything that you want to be, whether or not it's in STEM or whether or not it's another career. Traditional careers that may not be there for you, we're going to help you understand that you have an opportunity to be in it. So Black Girls Math, you rock. Thank you, Atia Harmon. And lastly, I just want to quickly say that we are in the midst of Black History Month. Black history is important to recognize because Black history is about the cultural contributions of Black Americans to the United States and beyond, but most importantly, it signifies that we're about showing and highlighting people who are about the fabric of this nation. And so as we continue to uplift Black history, let's continue to uplift youth leadership, because the youth leadership that made Black history could only be possible, right, with young people. And so thank you so much, Council President. I'm looking forward to working and seeing the kids that I met today from Philadelphia Charter High School for Electrical and Technology, and so many other, the Community College University, Community College in Philadelphia, and so many others at the Mayor's Reception Room after this, where they're going to be recognized here in the halls of City Hall. So thank you so much, and I look forward to continue to uplift the voices of young people. God bless.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Councilman Dr. Nina Ahmed.
Thank you, Council President. As we celebrate Black History Month, I want to take a moment to recognize Dr. Nathan Francis Moselle, a Philadelphian whose work should be better known because it shaped the city in real, lasting ways. Dr. Moselle was a physician and a trailblazer. He was the first African-American graduate of Penn's Medical School at a time when doors were slammed shut for Black students and Black professionals. But he didn't just break a barrier and call it a day. He also built something for everybody else to walk through. In 1895, he established the Frederick Douglass Memorial Hospital so Black Philadelphians could get care with dignity, because too often the system either turned people away or treated them as an afterthought. That work later grew into Mercy Douglas Hospital, which operated from 1948 to 1973. It wasn't just another building. It was the first Black hospital in Philadelphia and one of the earliest in the country. Mercy Douglas mattered for what it did and for what it proved. It provided quality care in a city where Black patients were routinely denied it, and it trained generations of Black nurses and health professionals through its School of Nursing, creating jobs, creating leadership, and creating a pipeline of talent that our health system relied on, whether it admitted it or not. Even after it closed, the impact did not disappear. You can trace it through the people who were trained there, the families who were treated there, and the standard it set, that equal care isn't a slogan, it's a requirement. So today, I want us to remember him and remember his work and make sure we celebrate Black History Month, remembering all those who've come before us. Thank you, Council President. I yield back.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Majority Leader Catherine Gilmore Richardson.
Thank you. Thank you, Council President. I rise today just to remind each of you and the broader public about our second annual Tracy Powell Beyond Ownership, Creating a Lasting Legacy Homeownership Fair. We named our homeownership fair after Tracy Powell because she was the impetus of the program last year. She worked with our office, ensured that we had the program, and was one of our featured presenters last year in helping many Philadelphians achieve the dream of homeownership. And we want to honor and uplift her legacy in real estate and in homeownership and the importance of generational wealth. And so this Saturday, February 7th, after you visit the African American Children's Book Project and Fair, please come on over to the Community College of Philadelphia from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to visit with more than 20 vendors across the city of Philadelphia to talk about home ownership. I'm thankful to colleagues who have partnered with us, of course, the district Councilmember Jeffrey Young of the 5th Council District. Thank you very much for your partnership and collaboration on the fair. State Senator Nikal Saval, and also tabling with us will be our colleague, Councilmember Nicholas O'Rourke. So we thank you very, very much to the elected officials who are partnering with us. We have more than 22 government agencies, organizations, realtors, property groups, title companies, financial institutions, including the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, and that's where my colleague, Councilmember Driscoll. We have presentations from Philly VIP, PHDC with Philly First Home and Turn the Key, and Super Realty Group. And we're partnering with Good as Gold Foundation and Citadel on providing breakfast for all of the attendees, as well as some really cool raffle items. So we hope to see each and every one of you there this Saturday, February 7th, at the Community College of Philadelphia, the Winnett Building at 17th and Spring Garden. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Councilman Mark Squilla.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd just like to be recognized as aye on all bills and resolutions. I was out of the
Shall be
chamber.
duly noted. Will be recorded, Member Squilla. That's it for speeches. The chair recognizes Councilman Isaiah Thomas for a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Council President. Before we adjourn, I know we all as members know this, but I just want to take a moment to just let Councilmember Rue Landau know we love her. So with that being said, Council President, with that being said, Council President, I move that council stands adjourned until Thursday, February 12th, 2026 at 10 a.m.
It has been moved and properly seconded that this council stand adjourned until Thursday, February the 12th, 2026 at 10 a.m. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. Thank you.